What's going on, everybody? It's the Hook Cam back again with another pro day breakdown. I guess this would be the first one that I'm doing. Obviously, Trevor Lawrence had his pro day a couple of days ago, and I was thinking about if I didn't watch football a lot, or if I didn't know like what the hell is going on in a pro day, because I'm sure that a lot of people are like, it's just a guy throwing in shorts. Obviously, he's going to look good. It's what he's going to do for the rest of his life. He's going to make a career out of it. Why is this so important? And that was kind of my mindset for a while, especially as an offensive line coach. I really thought quarterbacks throwing on a pro day, obviously they should look good. They're throwing in shorts. There's no rush. There's no coverage read. There's no anything. They should absolutely put every throw on a dime. There shouldn't be any pressure. And it wasn't until I talked to one of the quarterbacks that I coach and one of my really good friends, and I was like, kind of asking him what it's like at a pro day, because he didn't necessarily have a legitimate, NFL style pro day, but he did, go and throw for guys who were going to get drafted and all that. And so I was like, what's the lure of it? What's the deal with it? And he's like, it honestly is, can you deal with the pressure? And it can be daunting. I mean, when you look at this video of Trevor Lawrence throwing, and there's a ton of guys all around him. There's a bunch of NFL scouts. The press is there. Urban Meyer, who's probably going to be his next head coach, is watching. You can see in a couple of these clips, he's right next to Dabo Swinney. Right there is Urban Meyer, and that's Dabo Swinney. So I can understand how it can be daunting. Now, for a guy like Trevor Lawrence, my kind of rebuttal to that would be, well, this kid has been in every big game that you can be as a college quarterback. He should be fine in this situation, which he was, and I thought that he performed very well. Now, the other thing that I was thinking with this is, if I wasn't super astute with football, or if I didn't, necessarily know what's going on, I wouldn't necessarily know why they're having him throw these routes. What exactly is the point for having him throw a number of different routes on this pro day? So I just kind of wanted to break down a couple of these, and just, from a coach's perspective, when I watch this pro day, what am I looking for? With this first throw, obviously it's him going through his progressions, right, and then working back to his check down in the flat. I would imagine what they're looking for with this, and with pretty much every throw they're making, they're looking at his footwork, making sure he's light on his feet, setting his feet before he throws, stuff like that. And with a lot of these throws, that's going to be the biggie. Now with this throw right here, this is off of a play action, right, and Clemson runs the hell out of this, where they do this play action, get your shoulders down, popping back up on this bang 8, as I would call it, from this receiver, making sure that thing's on that upfield shoulder, almost like an extended slant. Now with this throw right here, this is him coming off of a rollout, and this is more of kind of your pro style stuff, right? As he's working off this rollout, you're not always going to be rolling to your right, to your dominant side. Obviously they want to see him roll to his left, see his athleticism, and every ball that this kid threw I thought was on the money, on a dime. He had an outstanding pro day, and he should. He's probably the biggest quarterback prospect in the last 10 years. With this right here, it's just on a double move, right? You got a little sluggo working, and you can see this receiver on the right here. He's going to break a little slug, slant and go, sluggo, and just seeing where he puts that ball, if he's giving that pump fake, where that deep ball is, right? Obviously that thing's right in the bucket. Outstanding throw. These are the throws that I think are important, though, and this is one of the things that I think makes Trevor Lawrence really stand out. It's kind of interesting because obviously he's such a good quarterback prospect, but it's almost like people don't really talk about what he's good at. And for me, I think the thing that sticks out the most about Trevor Lawrence is his accuracy outside the numbers. And you really saw that on his pro day, right? And he has struggled with it in the past. Struggle might be a little too extreme of a word, but especially like in their game against Notre Dame a couple of years ago in the playoffs, he had a couple of balls where he almost got bailed out by his receivers, I would say, and he had outstanding receivers. I want to say Justin Ross was one of them, T. Higgins, and those two guys are absolute studs. So, but with this is, very pro style, right? We're under center. Show these guys you can go under center, because he hasn't really been under center at Clemson. Working his 5-step drop, putting that thing outside the numbers. This is a great ball right here. This is a position where only his receiver can catch it. Really good job on that. With this route right here, again, just working a deep post, making sure you can hit that thing in between safeties, and that's really what the whole point of those throws are, right? Can you stretch the field? Are you accurate downfield? And for me, I'm always a big game tape guy, and if he can do it on a pro day, that's great. But I still feel like, yeah, he can do it on a pro day, but I want to see him be able to do it in the games, which obviously Trevor Lawrence has been able to do at Clemson. With this right here, all they're working is mesh. And with mesh, if you get zone, right, if this dude stays in zone, that's what this coach is out here for. He's giving the receiver a look. He's not always going to be, working out this way. He's trying to show that, hey, you've got a zone backer here. Sit in that spot. He sits. Trevor Lawrence anticipates it, and he's able to make that throw. Now we see right here, he's dropping back, so he's going to carry this route across. He throws that. And again, this is one of those throws where a lot of times it's not as on the money as you would think, right? Yeah, it might be an easy throw. Yeah, there might not be a lot of defenders around there, but you still have to put this ball and make it accurate for the receiver after the catch, right? We don't always necessarily, as long as the ball gets there, yeah, that's important, but we want to set this receiver up where he can make that catch, turn upfield, and continue to gain yards. If that ball's behind, he has to slow down to catch it, and it's going to put him in a bad spot. This right here is just an outstanding ball. This is a deep outer. Actually, this is more of like a shake route from this receiver, working up, and with a shake, you're working inside, working upfield, right, kind of working up the seam, and then working back out. Great against cover 2, right, this corner right here, expecting him to be in the flat for whatever flat threat you have working out there. Let's say you have a safety right here who's working over the top. You work this shake route right here. Great ball from Trevor Lawrence. Good route from this receiver. And again, you're kind of getting more into the intricacies of it. And, pro days are important for receivers as well, right? Show that you can, make the catches, you can run the routes, make it look crisp, and they should look as good as they can be without defenders there. With this ball right here, this is just another, there's another pro throw. This is, that's what I see when I see this again, right? We have Trevor Lawrence under center. Want to make sure that he can do this. He works that play action, everything in the NFL. You're going to have your run action rolling out to his right, and this is a big boy throw right here, man. This is exactly what you want to have, what you want to see from him. This is your 18-yard comeback. Like I said, big boy throw at the sidelines. That's stuff that you need to complete. He puts it on the money. And then, of course, just this deep ball right here. Does he have the arm to get there? Not necessarily any questions that have been answered about Trevor Lawrence. I think everybody really knew what he was capable of. And I don't, like I said, it's like, pro days for him are almost a formality. There's not really a lot of guys who are going to be your top 3 quarterbacks. I mean, that I can think of really in the past who are the quarterbacks who have had a bad pro day and have that really affect their draft stock. One thing I thought was interesting is that they switched fields and they went in, right? So they're working into the red zone here. And they moved a little bit tighter to the red zone as well. This is a tough ball to throw, especially in the NFL, because you're going to have backers who are dropping into coverage, and you basically have to put this ball over backers underneath safeties in order to get that thing there and get it there accurate. And a lot of times that's why it's high, so receivers are jumping up to get that. So overall, Trevor Lawrence is one of the best quarterback prospects I think that the NFL has ever seen. Obviously, we hope that he lives up to that standard. In Jacksonville, it's going to be really interesting. Ideally, if the Jags draft him there, I do believe there is a chance that they go Justin Fields and flip everything on its head. Do I think it's likely? No. But is it possible? Yeah. I mean, we can't say for certain. It's really tough to pass up a kid like Trevor Lawrence, though. I mean, I don't know how you live that down if you do pass him up and he does have the career that a lot of people are anticipating. Like I said, Trevor Lawrence is the best quarterback prospect we've seen in a long time. He's got every intangible you could want. And again, the biggest thing for me when I'm looking at quarterbacks who are making that jump from college to pro is I want to see the game tape. Have they played high-level competition? Have they done well against high-level competition? Have they made the throws they need? In a way, it's almost like stats don't even matter, right? Obviously, they do if quarterbacks throwing 20 picks a year. You never want to see that. But, in those big-time college games, in the college playoff games against the Ohio States and the Alabamas and the LSU, is Trevor Lawrence playing well? And that's really the thing that I think is going to say the most about him and where he's going to go in his career. Now, I do think that he will do well, and I think that in Jacksonville, they are going to be building something really, really cool. That AFC South, in a way, is kind of up for grabs. The Tennessee Titans are kind of running that division right now, but they're literally running that division. It's a Derrick Henry-led offense. And I think that anytime you rely super heavily on that ground game, you're kind of setting yourself up for a more shallow playbook, which means that it's going to be easier to stop. So I think Trevor Lawrence goes to Jacksonville, absolutely. He made every throw he needed to make. He looked great. And I think obviously he's going to be the number 1 overall pick this year, and hopefully he does very well. It would be cool to see an elite class of quarterbacks coming into the draft. So anyway, guys, that's kind of my little breakdown on Trevor Lawrence's pro day, what he was doing, why he was doing it. Maybe some people don't know, so just kind of giving you guys some knowledge and what I'm seeing with it. But anyway, guys, that's all I got for you today. Hey, hope everybody's staying safe, washing those hands. Before I leave, if you could hit up, check out Jackson Kruger Sports as well as Max Keys. That would mean the world to both of us. And we'll keep pumping out content for you guys. So stay safe, wash those hands, and I'll see you guys next time.